One. We're live. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Yay.
Uh, I think we've got Onyx and Turbo already on chat.
Yes,
At least they've
he's
chatted with us. Uh, and yes, in answer to your question, Turbo, I am behind the Gilded Mimic Network chat.
very
Uh,
occasionally it's me, but not very often.
but yeah, it's because I do tech as well as GM here. But that's not a problem. Welcome to Story Squires on this evening, afternoon, morning, wherever you are, night. We're back and having sacrificed a bacon wrap last week.
And currently a dread.
We're Dread down because he had to do.
He's doing a show this evening that he very, very much wanted to do.
Yeah. And so we're here. And yeah, so I'll start basing choose and play. So it's been a long day, so I'm a bit rambly today. I'll go with it in the order they appear on the stream. So, Amy, who are you and who's you?
I am Amy, and I play Ali Wygand, and she is a human noble fighter who is trying to get a bunch of money to renovate a castle. And I have a wolf companion named Shadow.
Cool. Talia.
I am Talia. I'm playing Amber Stonecutter, who is a dwarven cleric who now has a skull that she kind of keeps on her shoulder that occasionally she does ventriloquy with. And it has now, thanks to Necros, a stone of light detection that glows brighter in light and goes
It glows.
dim
It
when there's no light.
No, it glows dimly in bright light. I think that was the.
Yeah,
but it doesn't go at all in the dark.
Yeah, it
doesn't go at
all in the dark.
Except I cast light on it, so now it does. And I also have a wolf called Ulfa.
Yeah. And you'll also be playing Dret.
Oh yes, I'm also playing Dret this evening because Brian is not here to play Dret himself, who I believe is a ranger. In fact, I should probably open up his
Yeah, I think
stuff.
a elf or half elf ranger.
I don't know. I'm about to find out. He is a half elf ranger, and can do pretty funky stuff with a bow. He does not have a wolf because he was not part of the group when the wolves were dished out.
Yeah. It is.
That's probably the best way to describe that.
And Anne-Marie.
I am Anne-Marie. I play Kalima Malasmere, I think half-elf wizard. I like setting things on fire, and I have a wolf named Furfang.
Furfang. Wow.
Who just burped really loudly behind me. He's just had his well, not just, but about getting on for an hour ago, he had his evening snack. And at some point you will get to see Furfang, because he gets treats at halftime and he knows it.
Yeah.
I managed to smuggle them in here on the sly, because otherwise he follows me in and then hassles me for treats the entire time. And it's cute up to a point, and then it's just really annoying because his head is huge and he hooks my arm and it's like, treats, mom, and it just slows things down because that's my mouse hand, Necros.
Paperboat says, the Necros stone, once a relic of a great jeweler who made wonderful cross-adorned pendant chokers, hence the name Necros.
Wow.
There, I thought it was to do with necromancy.
Yeah. Necromancers. There's so many jokes about that, which it's like, how do you know you're dating a necromancer? You get hickeys.
Oh, yeah.
Necromancer.
Wow.
That was brilliantly bad. Yeah.
And necromancers just want to raise a family in peace. I think that I'll leave it at that.
Oh right, yeah, okay, I get it. Sorry, a little slow on those things.
So good. But yeah, you've been fighting undead things underneath here.
Yes,
And
and gargoyles lately.
Yeah. And
I think we found the way out or the way in, depending on which way you think about it.
you found the door, the gargoyles.
Yeah,
Yes.
which are all toasty now.
Which, come to think of it, didn't we bar it
We barred it
from
from
the
the
other
other
side?
We did.
Yeah,
we did bar it
that's-
from the other side. But there's a whole lot of this map we haven't explored because we came around here
Yes.
and defeated these, and that looks like the only thing on in this room. Like,
Yeah.
assuming the map has been drawn
Yeah,
correctly and revealed correctly, the only way out of the only other way out of this room we're looking into is those two doors.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
good choice on behalf of whoever decided to bar it on the other side.
Yeah.
Because I'm glad we didn't walk through and meet that lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we dealt with them very well. I think sending in Bacon Wrap was a really good idea.
We
still
appreciate
feel
his
really
sacrifice.
hmm
I still feel so bad for Bacon Wrap, the burnt sacrifice.
To be fair, we'd have just had to kill him later. Probably. He'd have probably turned on us as soon as the charm animal thing wore off.
I guess, but he's only a rat. We can't.
Yeah, we had to kill all his friends.
I mean,
True, but
his
if we
death
couldn't
had
tell-
purpose this way.
True, his death had purpose. Yes, it wasn't just you're being a bit bitey. We're going to have to off you.
Yeah.
The dogs, the wolves rather. Yeah.
And we did feed him bacon. Like, he went down happy. He was full
Yeah.
of
This is
bacon.
very true. I suspect he was far more interested in the bacon, too interested to notice the impending doom.
He died quick.
He did die quick. I was just thinking that, with bacon in his mouth and a song in his heart.
Well, the other thing to mention, just because of an aside, and I did it on chat. Chat is now can roll d20s on
Yes.
Twitch chat. I don't think it will do anything yet, but we might change that in the future.
I got a 20.
Yay!
Nice. Now everything else will be just awful for the rest
I was
of
going
the
to say, cherish it.
It's my 20 for today.
Cherish it as the high point of the stream.
Yeah. So, after killing Bacon Wrap and making a fool out of these gargoyles, because they were meant to be difficult and you guys just waved your hand and killed them, now that the DM is slightly annoyed at that.
It was good strategizing, and you know it.
We earned that one.
We
We really
intelligently
thought about
approached
it.
Yeah, I have to admit, I did not expect you to charm an animal, send it to the middle of gargoyles, and then
Fireball them.
fireball them. So,
You have to.
Yeah.
That was a good group effort, wasn't it?
That
one?
was.
It used all the things. It's good stuff. Yeah.
yeah, and Onyx got a 1 in his roll, so he's
Yeah.
number 1, I think. Is that how it works?
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Go with that.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think that's how we entered the stream, other than you found the Necros stone and you infused it into your skull. Well, into your
Mhm.
talking
I
skull
just
next to
added
you.
it to my skull.
Yeah. And you still got the stone of gravity detection? Or did I roll
Yes.
into the
I
lake?
think Dret has the stone of gravity detection.
Yeah. So, what would you like to do next? This question.
I guess are we going to do more exploring?
I think
should
let's
we
do
go
more exploring.
Check out that
There might be some
southwest.
Yeah. Being careful not to set off any traps because there are a lot of traps down here.
Yes.
So I think we're gonna go back up and
So-
around.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So question, did we want to take another rest in that same spot that we had set up the tiny hut before since
What? I didn't get hurt, and I
I'm rather
only
low on
used a spell.
Spells.
it was the spell
Yeah.
allocation.
I've got no level 3 spells. I've got 2 level 1s and 3
Only
level
2 level
2s.
1s?
Yeah, because remember whatever it was, the will-o-wisp that was hovering over the tiny hut?
You used a couple then.
I
magic
used
missiles.
a couple of level 1s, and then of course I had to use both 2 fireballs to take out the gargoyles.
Okay. Well, I
Uh,
think we could take on a little more because I've still got all my spells bar 1.
And I'm fairly significantly injured, but I'm not dying or anything. So.
Okay. Right. Do you want me to heal you then?
Like I said, I don't think it's terribly desperate at the minute. I can't see where I am. I'm at 19 of 32. So
Well, I could just do a quick cure wounds then, and that'll bring you most of the way back up again.
okay.
So I will cure wounds, which I think is 2d4 plus a bunch of stuff. Let me figure it out.
Because you're a cleric.
Yeah, it's plus like 9 for you or something.
It is plus a lot of things, yeah. Plus your spellcasting ability modifier, but because I'm a divine cleric, I get a little bit more. So I get +4 for the spellcasting ability modifier. Where is Disciple of Life? I think that's the one that says.
Yeah.
Plus an additional hit points equal to 2 plus the spell's level. So that's another 3. So 2d4 plus 7. I'm just going to quickly roll that in.
11. Oh, sorry.
Oh, okay. No, you've rolled it. That's great. You get 11 hit points back.
And that's actually perfect. That brings me up almost to full health.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I've still got loads of spell slots and I can do some damage with them. So I'd say it's worth carrying.
Also,
on.
while I remember,
Okay.
as far as I know, I can't cast gaseous, whatever it was that we
Gaseous form.
There
Oh,
you
that's
go.
a shame.
Yeah, but I will look out for it when we eventually, sometime in the next century, level up.
Okay. Because that would be a cool one to do. Because then you can cast it on Amber, and then put Amber in a bottle, and then literally throw me at the bad guys, and then you've literally tossed your dwarf at the bad guys, and then as the bottle breaks, I will turn back into Amber form.
No, wait.
I will turn back into Amber form and be able to do damage.
Yeah, a dwarf,
have a dwarf
hand
grenade.
seems to be quite a solid idea.
And then you can sneak into things without me setting anything off as well, because I'll be in a bottle.
Yeah.
So before we go exploring, are we 100% sure that this is the same set of doors, or should we try to open these doors and just confirm that they're locked?
We could try and open them.
I don't mind. Hey, Necros.
Yeah. Paper boat put down just before he came in. So can the Necros stone be used to work out how important NPC needs and requests are, i.e. can detect the gravity of the situation, right?
Wow. Definitely with the puns tonight. Okay, we're all coming back by the door then.
I'm gonna stand back here.
Should we just do an investigation on the door, essentially?
Being squishy.
Yeah.
Be like, we're trying the door. I'm just going to move Dret over here too.
Let's see.
Dret can be guarding our rear.
Oop, I did not mean for that to be selected the wrong. Yeah, there, but same roll.
So,
Yay.
Ouch.
Let's give Dret a turn as well. Dret didn't do much better.
Well, there's a door.
Yeah. Just so that now, Necros Brian is currently, I won't say AOL, but he's had to do.
Brian's got to do something else today, so he'll be back next week, the week after.
So with who rolled a 15?
Me, Kalima.
So the other two definitely notices a door, and it's barred. But Kalima realizes that it's the same door they barred from that was barred from the other side.
Right.
And I think there was no the alarm that Dret set ages and ages ago is no longer set because they only had last 24 hours. So
Yes.
Yeah.
oh, Necros inspired.
Necros. Oh, for me.
For Talia.
Oh, thank you.
Yay! Nice graphic. Woo!
The doors apart. Play the song and see if it opens. There are no inscriptions, no elf inscriptions, so you can't just say friend and it'll open or anything like that. It's just barred.
Oh, that makes me think of Andrew's moment on the pyramid when he was telling the joke about a neuron. I've clipped it. To be honest, it would take me far too long to talk about. But Anurin was Brian's bard character, and he used to tell a story and then play a song, and the story would always be completely ridiculous, and then it would have a bit of a punchline at the end. And then Andrew's barbarian was trying to mimic our bard to try and become civilized like our bard. And he told his first story, and it basically took the mick out of Anurin. But the punchline was about a door and singing, and yeah, it was hilarious. It was absolutely hilarious. But you wondered where this story was going, and then like 5 minutes worth of full 5 minutes worth of story, and then the last line was literally the punchline to a joke that the entire story had set up, and we just all sat there like, I can't believe we listened to that just to hear that pun. But it was amazing.
I believe it is clipped somewhere on Twitch, or it's on YouTube in one of the channels.
It is
one
definitely
of the
clipped.
episodes.
I'm pretty sure I clipped it. I hope I clipped it. I use the rock if you throw it hard enough.
The door has feelings. So yeah, it is a solid door that even with rattling doesn't move much.
The door is
Okay.
currently very secure in its own doorness. Opening for anyone.
It's a very secure door. It knows it's a door.
It knows its worth and keeping its mouth shut.
So yeah,
Okay.
Now we have
So-
established that the door is a door.
and it's
This is good.
and it's a
This is
happy
good.
door.
Yeah.
It is a confident 21st century door.
And
Also,
even
reading the stream title reminds me, as the fine red mist of our beloved bacon wrap dissolved and with the gargoyles defeated, our heroes continue.
Oh.
That's bad.
yeah, I might have put the title of the stream if you haven't seen it with Gargoyles defeated. What else is left? Not bacon wrap for sure.
Oh.
Oh, bad.
Bacon wrap.
I think his mortal remains ended up getting cremated in the
In the
ensuing
fireball.
firestorm.
Yeah.
So
So it's
he's
crunchy
now-
bacon.
There wasn't even enough left for that, I don't think. There isn't
Time
enough
to
enough
wrap
left
it
to wrap
up.
up.
Oh.
Okay.
Puns.
There is probably a faint burnt fur smell hanging over the general,
Burn everything.
Yeah.
And we're going northward. Okay.
And we're heading off.
Yeah.
Off we go.
And you've already set off that trap. Cool. So yeah.
Yeah, I was just thinking
Yeah.
that. I think
I'm pretty sure we set off some traps over here, sort of
Yeah.
places.
Yeah.
So I think it was,
So
and
we
we
could
came
kind of-
from
Well,
over here.
I don't know that this one.
down the edge.
I don't know that that one went off, but we
We
know
did.
where it is.
We knew where it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we can avoid it.
Yeah.
So we're just
That's
gonna
the
wriggle
one
around
that
the edges around.
I think it's the
down
one that triggered the rats that
The
we fought. That are the
spectres.
bodies there anyway. The
it triggers
spectres. Okay.
spectres, yeah.
Triggered the spectres.
So the air smells of iron bacon
So-
and burned remains. And
Suspiciously a bit of pee as well.
Cool.
Okay, so she's going to come down that way and I guess do a perception check from sort of here-ish.
Yeah.
How far are
Do a
you
perception check
guys?
there. I got 19. I actually managed to roll decently.
Ooh.
Yeah, Dret would
Cool.
probably do one as well, so.
Let's see what.
Dret
this
got
is.
6. Just ignore Dret. Dret
Brett
didn't
is
see
making
anything.
aware that he is in a cave.
Dret is clearly not here.
Fred is looking for more stones in the lake.
Yeah. Yeah. Dret is feeling sad and remorseful about what he did to Bacon Wrap and is slightly distracted.
No.
Cool. Who has night vision?
I do.
Dret.
And I do as well.
Cool. So you guys can see 60 feet. It's quite dark, but it's not too dark.
Hey, another unique message deleted by moderator. The background of the door is that it was part of an ancient ent that was chased to death, and his flashback body was used to make this door. Now its main goal is to keep pesky humanoids from entering. That's dark. Poor ent. Yes.
Oh, point.
Can we see anything else with a perception of 19?
With a 19, yes, sorry. I got distracted by doors. Hence
So
why
many
my
doors.
and I'm using the wrong.
And another unique arriving.
Yeah. Where was it? With a 19, you hear a growl coming from behind this
Oh
rock.
no!
And
Something
for
unfriendly. Oh, what a
There's
surprise.
an unfriendly something behind that rock.
yeah.
It's okay. It's more experience.
I suppose I should actually have a
Thank
bit
you,
of a
another
look at
unique.
what. Oh, another unique. Thank you for more gifted subs.
Thank
Oh,
you.
thank you.
I need to buy a t-shirt.
Wow. 113. Right.
That's absolutely amazing.
So
if people want to catch up with another unique, with
They've got a
gifted
way to
subs,
go.
go for it. Where is? And with a 19 as well. You see a little will-o-wisp in the corner.
Okay. I will probably point those out to the rest of the group and be like,
Yeah.
another one of those wispy things we like to do. And
like to
I'm pretty sure I heard a
smoosh.
growl. Sounded like something else undead.
Because
Behind
everything
that
yeah.
pillar.
underneath
I
here
will
is
point to the
living.
pillar.
Great. And I'll pull out my great axe.
I will pull out Lightbringer.
And
Um,
I can't coat. And yeah. Yeah.
Ali, did you have more uses in that potion you had that could coat weapons and make them magical? Or was it just a one?
I believe it was just a one-time, 1 hour use.
Okay.
But
You've got
we might
4
still be
uses.
within that hour. Oh,
You-
four
No,
you-
we
uses?
took a nap.
It's 4
We took a-
uses, 5 uses
four
total,
uses.
and you've done 1.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ah, well.
We
then.
did
Oh,
the
yes,
we did the
so-
hut thing afterwards,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
you could use do another use.
Okay. Yes, I see that. Okay. I will do that because it's nice. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just. And in answer to your question to your DM, Necros, yep. Feel free to suggest anything you like, and I'll see if it fits in.
Dangerous words.
Dangerous words.
So, but it's now creating the Necros myth. It's in terms of other things. So you see that you see a will-o-wisp appear through the rock. That will-o-wisp, even from that distance, you can smell some bacon off from it. Sorry, I'm going to keep mentioning
Aww.
bacon.
Bacon.
It went through it at some point in the near past. So
Okay.
So it's been in that room.
yeah,
It's been in that room. They go
It-
through the walls.
they
so...
can go through walls and they just buzz around.
So Amber's probably going to want to attack these things. I'm pretty sure we're all going to want to attack these things. Kind of.
Yeah.
at this
Yeah, I
point,
really
so...
do not like will-o-wisps at all. I'm
Yeah.
more than happy to immolate will-o-wisps anytime.
Let me bring up.
I'm thinking we may want to do something long range though to get it to come to us a bit, so we don't attract whatever is growling behind that rock. I think that would
Honestly,
be Amber's.
on past showing, that feels like a good luck kind of situation, but we can try.
Well, Drek can shoot from where we are, so Drek could just shoot it. Although he doesn't have +1 shooty weaponry. Well, he could shoot the will-o-wisp.
Well, could certainly shoot at it, trying to hit a bunch of floating lights with an arrow is a challenging.
What about magic
Okay.
missile?
Prospect.
From
Thank you for the
here?
bits, Necros.
Magic bits always.
Thank you, Necros.
Thank you. Yeah, magic
what was
missile
that?
would be a good.
Yeah, from about here, which is fairly
Yep.
long range.
I mean, Amber could cast a spell. Oh, wrong character. Wrong character. Let's go back to. I could cast guiding bolt. Which is splash of light streaks toward a creature your choice within range. Make a ranged spell attack. On a hit, the target takes 4d6 radiant damage. And then whoever attacks it next has advantage.
That could work.
Okay.
So you
Because
can do one surprise attack.
Yeah, just do that to just. Well, we could technically. Can we all do like a surprise attack? Because it's not doing anything. If we all essentially
just
attack at the
flying
same
around.
time.
If you want to try that, yeah. It is
Or
just flying around.
I could do a cantrip and do Sacred Flame.
Sacred Flame on the Will-O-Wisp.
Yeah, 1d8 radiant damage.
Is dexterity saving throw?
Dexterity saving throw.
Cool.
Do I want to do that, or do I want to do Guiding Bolt?
It depends how many creatures are in the dark.
Yeah. How much have we got to go? I think we've got quite a bit more. I'm just going to do Sacred Flame just to get it to come to us, because like one of them isn't too difficult to fight, I don't think. And then if it gets worse, I've still got my big spell slots to take something out quicker. So I'm going to Sacred Flame it.
Cool. Anyone else doing anything before? Was there shooting
Yeah,
involved?
I'll use one of the wand of magic missile charges.
Cool.
Better use the Stone of Light detection just to be safe. It's alright, it's on my shoulder, Necros.
Yeah, it's being pushed into the skull, where just for decoration, basically.
Yep.
I've got magic missile, but I feel like I might want to hold back a little bit.
Have you got a cantrip you could use, the ranged cantrip?
Well, technically, I've got a bunch of cantrips. Okay, how about that? But I'm not sure what will work, A, at this range, and B, on that.
Well, you could use one like ready a reaction. So
I
if it comes
mean,
within range, like if you got frost, rare
Firebolt.
frost.
I have got rare frost, but does that work on Will-O-Wisps? And also,
No idea. It's probably better. It's more likely to work than fireball because they seem to.
I was going to say I've got Firebolt. I can do that from quite a while.
I thought
back.
fire didn't work as well.
Does it
Am I
not?
misremembering?
I can't remember.
Do you remember
What did
that?
I use on it before? I used Firebolt.
We would remember, as in our characters would remember, even if we don't.
Yeah,
I
I'm
think
trying
we've
to
probably
remember
fought
if
enough
you
of them
would.
our characters would remember.
Yeah,
So
because you've
what-
tried fire. It's resistant to fire. It does
Yeah,
damage, but it's half damage.
What about cold?
Cold
Or would we not?
resistant. It's. Could you roll a?
You've told us before, Beth.
Yeah,
You've
told
us
us
that it's
before, so
resistant.
we
That's
would
what I
know.
was checking. It's resistant to acid, cold, fire, necrotic, thunder, bludgeoning. So, acid, cold,
not
fire,
force.
necrotic, and thunder.
So magic missile works on force
Is it
damage.
force?
but-
Yes.
Yeah.
And
So it's magic- it's a
bludgeoning,
magic
piercing, and
missile,
slashing
okay.
from non-magical attacks is resistant to.
Okay.
So yeah,
So
it's gonna,
okay. So cold or fire, either way,
Yeah.
would be resistant. So I was going
Yeah.
to suggest that rare frost might be better than.
yeah. I mean, I could try punching it with Mage Hand, but I'd have to get a lot closer.
Yeah, technically you're not allowed to use Mage Hand as an attack.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, the hand can't attack, activate magic items. Okay, but I could throw a rock, right?
You can drop a rock.
You can drop a rock.
So I could.
But only be 10 pounds worth. So
Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, have you ever had £10 drop on you? I mean, it's
it's fair.
if, just saying. If we're going for
Letting you
the
go.
surprise aspect, I'd be surprised if a rock suddenly dropped on my head. But so we can try a £10 rock.
Can you find a 10-pound rock in the cave?
Could
I
you
mean,
roll
it
an
seems like
investigation?
that. 30. I would have to get to here. Hang about.
Yeah.
About here. Which point I think I would lose the element of surprise. So I think
Yeah.
I'm going to sit this one out, and you guys go ahead and do the attacky thing.
Okay, well, in that
Cool.
case, Dret is going to shoot arrows and Amber is going to Sacred Flame.
And I will wand a magic missile.
Okay.
Cool. So if we start with the
Sacred
Sacred
Flame?
Flame, what it needs to dex
Dexterity saving throw.
26.
26. Okay, that doesn't work then.
So a flame appears above it, and they just like go round.
Yeah.
If we do the arrow next,
Okay. Where is it? I'm assuming this is going to work.
13
It-
plus 2.
It does get it does use the 2 because that's
Cool.
archery.
Get a 15, goes right through the swarm, or the will-o-wisps. No
Goes
damage.
right through it. No
Yeah.
damage. Okay.
Well, that's just rude.
He gets 2 attacks. Can I try again?
Go for it.
That's better.
19. 19 does hit.
Yay!
It hits, let's call it 3 will-o-wisps.
3 little will-o-wisps.
It's like skewers 3 somehow.
Well, I think the will-o-wisp is actually one entity, but it's like a flowing
Th-
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
thing.
So
It's
is
not
it
like a
three?
swarm.
Is it 3 willows or 3 wisps?
Let me. We haven't named this one yet, but
No, we didn't name it.
We did not. We just got straight to the killy, which I'm quite impressed with.
let me. I don't have a pen and paper on me, so I'm having to use Excel to keep track of these things. So that's cool. It has did some damage to it.
Finally, yay!
And the wand of magic missile.
Do them individually.
Yeah. 2.
Oh. What?
And
No. Wow.
Wow.
ouch.
Are they all
Hey.
named Willow?
It all 6 points hit full damage.
That is super annoying.
Yeah. I don't know how that happens. But
Swarm
yeah,
of careless whispers.
So yeah, it's
Wow.
That's just cruel. Really.
It's super cruel.
yeah, 3 now. Are they all named Willow? And what are the names of the will-o-wisps? Yes, will-o-wisps.
I don't actually think we've called one Willow yet.
I was just
No.
wondering, could we have like
We
a
haven't actually
Have we
one.
had a
Willow
whispers?
shenanigan?
No, I don't think we've had the whispers. Let's call it Willow. Don't worry, there will be time to name other ones.
Great.
None of us are under any illusion that we will, face more things to die horribly at some point.
Next time we get a pair, I want to call them George and Michael.
George Michael.
Yeah.
Oh, do we need to roll initiative here?
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
please. Yeah, you've now attacked and you've had
Select
your surprise round.
token. Click the initiative button.
Who's
Oh,
Greg?
Greg was a gargoyle.
I used to roll quite high for initiative.
God, roll
Yeah.
20 just hates me right now.
My honeymoon with a roll
Ooh.
20 is definitely over.
Oh,
Oh God.
this was a bad one for all of us. When Amber is the one getting the good roll
Yeah.
for
Like,
initiative.
is Amber going first or the Will-o-wisp?
Well, I assume you don't have a +9 on this dexterity.
+9.
Oh.
No, I have -1.
So yeah,
That means I rolled 10 higher than the Willow.
Yes. What did it roll? Where's the
I
willow?
rolled
Willow?
16. It must have rolled
Rolled
6.
6. Yep, it did.
Jeez.
Wow.
Ouch.
How far can it move?
So mean.
It can fly 50 feet, and I think there was 30 feet between you.
No, there's more than 30 feet between us. Otherwise, Anne Marie could have done something.
Oh yeah. Oops, wrong.
Sorry.
There's 45 feet.
There's 45 feet.
Yeah.
It flies towards the near. Wrong. Tool flies over here and tries to touch the nearest person, which just happens to be Amber. Did that come out? Yeah, 10 attack.
No.
It flew so far and was surprised that an arrow managed to hit a few of them, so it didn't hit Amber.
Okay, at this point, Amber is going to smack it with Lightbringer,
Which is
Excellent
magical.
choice.
which is magical and does
Yeah.
extra damage to undead.
Yeah.
Hey.
So 14. Goes straight through Willow.
I'm going to say I'm going to use inspiration, but I said it too late. I didn't mean to click. Never mind.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. No, it's fine. I was going to say I
Cool.
was going to use inspiration, but it doesn't matter because I didn't say it in time.
Yep. And it wouldn't have mattered.
No.
Dread.
The drought already.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Unless
kinda
your
nice
wolf
that they're
wants to
both
do
in turn
something.
order.
Oh,
Yeah, I actually will bring up the wolf at this point because if it's fighting, if it's attacking me, then
yeah.
it's not like to change focus, especially as I've now taken a swing at it. So,
Mhm.
Ulfa will take a
Dread
bite.
take a bite. Gets
Ah,
advantage because it's wolf pack.
Pack tactics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh.
12. Snaps at middle of nothing. I think they
Yeah, I was like, I'm pretty
finally
sure that's gonna miss.
Dread.
Okay, Dret is gonna shoot it, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh no, Dret's got the battle axe,
Yeah, which is magical that you lent him.
magical, which I lent him. So I think Dret is gonna come up to here, put his bow down on the floor at his feet, and pull out the battle axe.
Yeah, I've got a cheering person.
Ugh, he gets
Doesn't matter.
13. 'Cause he doesn't
With
get the plus
13.
2.
It swings and it misses.
Yeah, everyone's rolling badly.
This is
The
how Willow Wisps are meant
cheerleading
to.
posse is doing.
Given our
good work for you,
pluses, that we should be doing way better than this. Okay, he gets
Kalima.
another attack at least,
He
so
gets another
he's going to
attack,
try
yeah.
again. Yeah, just ignore
Okay.
Drat for this.
If someone were to give him inspiration, at some point he might hit something.
I know I'm control and I forgot to use it for myself, so
Kalima.
I think it's gonna have to be magic missile. Because
That's a guaranteed hit.
It is a
Exactly.
I like
guarantee.
that.
so I think I'm gonna go over here because I can just go over Amber's head, I believe.
yes,
Shoot.
probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're.
So
you're
yeah, I
ambitious.
think it's gonna have to be a magic missile now. I can't make it any. Oh, I could make it a level.
No,
I could make it
don't.
level
It's
2
just a
spell.
single willow. Don't worry, it hasn't done
It
any
is,
damage
but
to
it's
any of
kind
us
of
yet.
it's kind of
It's
kicking our butts at the minute.
It's not done any damage at all.
No, okay,
Yeah.
fine. Right, magic missile at
You're
level
just
1.
swinging at each other and missing. It's the
There we go. There's one, 2, 3.
Significantly better.
That is
4.
definitely an improvement. Yeah.
So 8,
Sorry,
9, 10, 11.
I say that with love. You know,
It was terrible.
it was time.
Let's just be
someone got
honest.
some luck.
Cool. That willow is looking quite dissipated, but still there.
Okay.
I just realized I sent my wolf over here, but that was actually me. I'm gonna send Furfang to take a bite because why not? He takes a bite with advantage. 14.
Snaps are nothing.
Ah, good try, Furfang. You're a good boy.
And Alice.
All
Ali.
right. We are going for great axe time with my newly magicalified. And that's a no.
Yeah. It's
But I have my second attack.
20 does hit. And with 13 damage, magical 13 damage, you swipe the last of the willow away.
Yay!
Yay!
Fucking A.
So, bye bye, Willow, who only had a chance to attack once.
I was gonna say it wasn't that hard.
Way harder to kill than they have any right to be.
They're only hard to
very-
kill because they have quite a high armor class. And
Yeah.
some
Yeah.
things are halved. They don't actually have very many hit points. And they can only do one attack. So they're relatively weak in terms of what they can do.
Yeah,
I still hold it against them.
I do
In
recall
large
that.
numbers, they can be quite deadly because they can do quite a lot of drains and things like that in large numbers.
Yeah, if
Eventually
they
will
do
hit you.
land an attack, it can
That's
be
yeah.
bad.
I meant the draining. I didn't rate them much until one day one of them got through and someone got drained of like half their hit points in one shot, and I was like,
Yeah.
And it can be permanent, or long term at least, until your
Yeah.
next long
Yeah,
rest.
it's longer term,
that's-
yeah.
yeah, that's why I'm really not a fan of the
Yeah.
bastards. And also, they do suck up your spell slots.
Mhm.
Yeah, to be
so-
honest, you could use your cantrips against them. You don't have to keep using spells. Especially when there's
Oh.
just one.
So
But
Because
I
we wouldn't
don't-
normally have missed that many times. We would have normally quite happily killed one of them in a round. So
it was technically a single round.
it technically was a single round, yeah. So
So
Yeah.
okay, just so that you know, Dret is going to pick up his bow again.
Yes.
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 Okay. Well, now that we know there's a growl behind the pillar, I think we should cautiously move forward.
Yeah.
Are you stealthing?
I'm
I
happy
was gonna
to.
say, did we manage to kill the will-o-wisp without making any noise?
Probably not.
It was enough, I think, because you're 60 feet, 70 feet away.
Right.
60 feet, I think I calculated. Yeah. So I think, you cast magic missile, you swang weapons at it, but
There would have been some clingies and some flashies, I would think.
yeah. So it's probably aware that you're there. Well,
Yay.
We're not going to get a surprise round.
Yes.
Okay.
It's a visiting team one. According to dogs.
Well, I'm happy to lead the charge toward this thing if you would like, or Amber if you want to.
Oh, we can
Also
go
fine.
side by side if you want.
Oh, perfect.
side.
Let's do it.
Cool. So I'm going to roll initiative for this guy.
Apart from there. Are we sticking in initiative order? Or do you want us all to roll initiative again?
I think we can stick to initiative order unless you guys really want to change it.
I think everyone but me would want to.
I think everyone would want to change it.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Reroll.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because technically it was the end of a battle.
Oh, so much better.
Mine was worse.
I got the same. I got
You
the
know, it
same.
was better.
So
And has
Yay.
Dret rolled?
hold on. I'm now rolling Dreads. Hold on.
Cool.
Yay!
Wow.
All right. As a party, that was significantly better.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the Ghast, who's currently nameless, will walk slowly. What's his speed? Oh, he's at normal speed, but I always picture as Ghast moving slowly, so he's going to move to here. and growl at you.
Okay.
Hence initializing.
Initiative.
Yeah, that's my excuse, and I'm
Okay.
sticking to it.
So that's what started the battle.
Yeah.
Okay. Can we call him Michael? Oh no, call him Jackson.
No, Michael works.
No, because I want to call the next Will-O-Wisps George and Michael.
Oh, you want the Will-O-Wisps to be
Yeah.
cool.
This guy can be Jackson.
Michael Jackson.
I think we've probably had a Michael Jackson zombie before.
I'm pretty sure we have.
They look like a bit like zombies, so it made me think of it again.
And I was going to say the joke never dies. So
No, that's true. We haven't had a Michael Jackson one for a while, so
yeah, got to be done.
Cool. Just checking if we can speak. Yes, I can. Cool. It will growl at you and say, "How dare you attack my willow?" I don't know why it's his willow, but it is now.
okay.
So it's technically Dred's turn.
Right, I'm pretty sure he's going to shoot this guy.
And you guys move forward down a bit. So I can reveal a bit more.
16.
16 to hit a ghast.
Oh Christ!
Yes.
Oh, there's more.
Oh boy.
No.
In a
there can
development
be
which
more.
shocks no one.
There are more bad guys.
Yeah.
Cool. 16 hits.
Yay!
Fine. And you know it's not less than before. It's not less. It seems to take a full arrow in his chest and full damage.
Yay!
And you
Cool.
said he has a second attack?
Yep, he gets to do a second one. He can't do Horde Breaker because there's nothing close enough, but he
Yeah.
can do his extra attack at the very least. Yay. Natural one.
No.
Pretty sure that one doesn't hit.
No. And I don't have a fumble table yet.
Fumble chart.
Uh,
With the arrows for Dret, is it okay if just every 2 shots I take one off, assuming
Yeah.
that after the battles he will be fetching them back again?
yeah. That's fine.
Because
You
otherwise
don't-
I'm going to end up keeping track of so much stuff. I'm just going to be like, I can't go.
Yeah. I'm using the wrong tool. Cool.
That is the end of Dret's turn.
Yeah. Cool. So, Ali, there's a Jackson in front of you.
There is. Unfortunately, Jackson is just 10 feet too far beyond my movement. So I think what we're going to do is move up those 30 feet, which would be to there. And then I'm going to chuck a javelin, because why not?
A
Nice.
javelin flies around, spikes his foot.
Okay.
Result.
Yeah.
Well, that worked so well that I think I'm going to throw a second one.
You get the bonus.
Hey!
His
Yay!
other foot is staked to
Nice.
the ground.
Yay!
I feel like maybe, just maybe, Roll20 is forgiving us.
Yeah, that was significantly better.
Yeah.
Okay, what's the movement on the wolves? I'm guessing 55 is too far.
I think they're 40 feet.
Okay. All right, well, I'll just bring Shadow up with me here.
Let's go home, team. So, Alice and Shadow run up. Amber.
Okay. What would Amber like to do? I'm too far away to smack it with something as well. Can't get there.
You don't run fast enough as well?
Well, I'm not going to run.
True.
Amber doesn't run.
No,
Dwarves
more of
don't
a
run.
purposeful stroll, I would have thought.
Yes. Amber might stride forward. 10, 20, 30. So Amber's gonna, keep up with Ali at least, but definitely not running.
Let's not be silly.
No. Do I want to use spiritual weapon though? Can we see more now that we've got closer?
Oh yes. That may reveal more of the area.
Because that may actually
There's
dictate
another-
what I do as I've got closer.
There's a giant rat.
Or is it? Yeah. Okay. There's actually quite a lot of bad guys. In that case, Amber is going to cast spiritual weapon.
Cool. I think I can bring it back from over here.
Yeah.
And I think
And I'm going to cast it. I'm going to cast it near the front. Yeah, near Jackson.
I think you can control that token.
Yeah.
Cool.
Should be able to. 24.
24.
Nice.
Jackson's head is now engulfed in wolf shape. Is it fox shape?
It's a fox. It's a silver fox. My spiritual weapon.
Yeah, engulfed in the silver fox's bite.
Yay!
Somehow
Well,
it's
that did
still
something.
walking towards.
That was a bonus action,
Yeah.
but that was a spell, so I can't do another spell. But that does technically mean I could still do an action. I'm just having a quick look and see what my other options are. I don't have my.
I'm trying to figure out what 392 points are from Necros from earlier. But
I am going to pull out my crossbow. I'm going to assume that I started with my crossbow because that was the only way I could shoot. The only weapon I could use to begin with, to begin the fight, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I will not drop Lightbringer because I'll assume I hadn't picked it up, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And go with the crossbow. So I'm going to try and crossbow Jackson as well.
Cool. So you're so unused with the crossbow, it shoots into the lake behind you.
Wow. Wow.
You're just not used to the crossbow. I don't think you've ever used the crossbow.
I think that is probably... No, I have used
Amber,
the crossbow.
this is the pointy
I have
end.
used the crossbow once because I only had 19 bolts. So I've definitely used the crossbow once. Right, note to self. Crossbow's not that useful. I tried. At least my silver fox did something.
Yep.
That is that done. Ulfra is going to come too, but Ulfra is going to stick behind me for now.
Cool.
That is Amber's turn.
Cool.
Did you miss something, Necros? Oh, natural one. Ouch. Yeah. It turns out Amber's not very good with her crossbow.
Lennox rolled an 8. I'm not going to use his roll for Jackson's attack. It's going right in the middle there, because that's because spiritual weapons don't do damage. So he walks through the bite because it's a spiritual weapon. So what is his attack? I've got so many windows open. He's going to. I forgot about that. He's going to first bite at Amber with a nat 20.
Ouch.
So his bite is vicious and gets 21 piercing damage.
Wow. Believe it or not, I'm not bloodied though. If bloodied were a thing, Amber is still not bloodied.
Wow, yeah, that was 4d8 plus 3.
Wow.
Because of the nat 20. And that is all he can do. He gets one attack.
Interestingly, in the new rules for the D&D 1 that's coming, nat 20s for bad guys do not equal critical hits anymore.
Really?
Yeah, only for good guys. So that would have not doubled the damage dice. Just so you know.
Good job, we're still 5e, and I actually made
We're
damage
still
for
using
once.
5e.
I think I thought it might have been like one of the few times. Cool. Kalima, you're not within 5 feet of Jackson. Oh, we need a name for the other Ghastly. Or Ghast. It's not Pokemon.
I named the last one.
Gorman
So.
Ghastly.
call it ghastly.
Gorman Ghastly, you know, from the Gormenghast.
Aye,
Bit obscure, I get it.
Gorman.
Gorman.
Yeah.
Gormen, yeah, it's Gormen Ghastly. So Gormen Ghast.
Ghastly.
Ally.
Necros suggested Gus.
That might be the next one. I mean, there's no next one.
Next one.
We've also got 4 rats to name.
Yeah. It's so Kalima, your turn.
Oh boy. Oh, sorry. So many monsters, so little time. Okay. How far am I away from the action? 55 feet. Right. What?
If you can dump an area of effect spell on the Gorman Ghastly and his 4 rats,
That would be useful.
that would be a useful
That would be
option.
good.
Right. Let's have a look. None of those will do it. Let's see.
Flaming sphere or something like that would work.
Hang on a minute. Flaming sphere. I have. Hang about. Do I have any of these? Yes, I do. Oh, I've got lots of flaming sphere as well. Okay.
You could just dump a flaming sphere on top of the.
A rat, brat,
Um,
rat.
Yeah. Where would you like me to drop this flaming sphere? It's 5.
Arat, brat, crat, and drat. Oh, I
So-
like that.
Yep.
Right.
Nice, Necros.
Okay. I'm going to drop flaming sphere right here.
How big is flaming sphere?
Flaming sphere. If a creature ends their turn within 5 feet, they have to make a dexterity saving throw.
How big is the sphere?
5 foot diameter. It's not very big,
Okay.
actually. In which case, it might be better if I put
You
it.
could get 3 of
here.
them. No, you could get 3 because there's only one guy up there because that one's my silver fox.
Yeah, that's what I was
But
thinking.
you could get
That's
3
what
of
I was
them if you
thinking.
dropped it in
Okay.
sort of like there. You could get the
Sounds-
top 2 rats and Gorman.
If I get it right here, I actually get the top 3 rats. So let's do that.
So this is.
Oh, I have to select what level I'm casting it at. Seriously?
Flaming sphere.
Right there.
2d6 plus.
Huh. I
2d.
tried to click on show spell description and it didn't work.
No. I think there's a bug when they updated something in Roll20 and the
Yeah.
characters are old. So
Oh, right. Do you want to put the description in? Sorry.
I was just curious. I didn't need it
There
necessarily.
we go. There it is.
there it is. Yeah, it's scroll. Cool. So there's a sphere of fire.
Here.
Yeah, let me draw something. Just about there. Cool.
Yeah.
So if
Slightly
they-
down. It's right. Kind of here. But yeah. So it gets
So-
this rat, this rat, this rat,
That's
and
gonna be
Gus.
tough. Might not
Yeah.
get the third rat.
Why not? The sphere is
It's-
here and
Yeah.
the rat is here.
It says any within 5 feet.
Yeah, it's
Within
within
5
5
feet.
feet.
5 foot
That's-
diameter.
Okay,
all-
I didn't hear 5 feet off. So it's essentially 10 feet.
Yeah, from the very
Yeah.
center, it's essentially
Yeah.
10 feet out. Yeah, that
Yeah.
it does damage too.
Cool.
Basically, if you get too close, you get burned as well because
Yeah.
it's a 5 foot flaming
So,
ball.
So I'm currently
Creature.
posting 3 rats and Gorman Ghastly.
yeah. So 5 that appears in an occupied space within range and lasts for the duration. Any creature that ends its turn must do a dexterity
feet.
saving throw.
But then it also says as a bonus action, you can ram it into people, and then they
Yeah.
have to make the saving throw then.
So you cast it. Do you want to ram it into someone?
Well, it's
Oh!
technically there. It's already on top of them.
Well,
Yeah.
I dropped it there already. I think that's one go, isn't it? Then
Yeah.
the next thing. Oh, I
The
see.
casting
Bonus
time is
action, I
one
can then
action.
do it.
But then on subsequent turns, you can use a bonus action to move it around.
And
Right,
it hits it
then
into
that-
people.
I thought I
And hit it
remembered
into
something
people.
like that. Yeah. Okay. So currently they're just all a bit hot.
Yeah.
Not in a good way.
You.
Indeed. Cool. That
The
was
burning fur smell increases.
yeah, but you do also have to remember that it affects everyone, including friends, with that spell, Flaming Sphere.
I know.
So,
I've used it before.
ah, okay, cool.
Yeah.
So that was your turn, Tuz. Furfang?
Oh yeah, Furfang. Okay, hang on a minute. Let
Let's
me.
go.
40 feet. Where's 20, 20. Right, yeah. Furfang's going to come, I think, here and
Cool.
bite Jackson. Let's do the bitey with tactics. 20. Wow, didn't need it. 20.
That's really annoying. Because with that, he bites he's had a head chopped off, bitten off. He's had 2 legs speared, and now he's, let's say, something else was bitten off, and he was not happy about it.
That does seem like a very Kalima move.
And I can't even. That's my wolf, embodying my most treasured principles.
You have trained him well.
I have. He's a quick learner.
So
He and I make a great team.
yeah, so Jackson is no more, which is
Oh,
really
brilliant!
annoying.
That was the end of him,
Yeah.
was it?
Yeah.
That makes sense.
It's quite annoying because he was actually going to do something cool for once, but he'll have to wait for something else, for other Jackson, for Gorman to
Yes.
go.
Did we foil your dastardly plan? Oh dear.
Yeah,
That's sort of our job.
Yeah.
Good boy, Furfang. Here's an extra dummy.
So it's now the rat's turns, which they rolled afterwards. Essentially, Jackson called them out of darkness to attack you. Before he died.
Jackson
so
deserves to die horribly then.
30 feet.
It's not time yet, baby. You don't get the treats for another bit. We're killing things.
Not this
Sorry, for those of you who
one.
don't know, I'm talking to my Furfang here. He's
Yeah.
hassling. He says it's time for treats, and I'm saying it's not.
Giant rat.
But who's right?
Good point. I think the real dog's always right. So the rat comes up and tries to bite Shadow, because I think that's the nearest one.
No.
Not Shadow.
With a... Is that the right one? 9?
No.
So Marat just looks at Shadow and is like, that's a scary dog. Brat, how far can Brat go? He can reach next to Arat. And now there's 2 of them. Brat can use pack tactics
On Ellie.
on Ali. So he gets advantage. But a 12...
That's not gonna do it.
No.
How far can these go? Because they were behind. That's 30 feet too. I'm going to move Jackson out of the way. Krat. It's at least one of the rats allies up with. Yep. Cool. Amber. He's going to try to bite Amber.
Okay.
21.
That does hit.
3 piercing damage.
3.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, Amber's gonna laugh at that. That's funny.
No, you
Pull
have
that
to
ahead.
hit.
Arnica.
Rat can't quite reach you.
What a
Oh,
pity.
rat.
So from Drat to Dret.
Okay, at this point, Dret. Where is Dret? Did I leave him
Way
behind?
up above.
He can still shoot everybody from there, so I don't think he's going to
Yeah.
move. He's going to keep shooting. He'll probably go for Arrett first to protect the wolves.
Yeah.
So.
And everyone is in close proximity. Mighty right.
Everyone's going to agree that's absolutely
All right,
best.
rats gather together and form the mighty Rat King. Let's go, transformation theme song.
Oh.
Oh, that would be funny, wouldn't it? All right, Dret is going to attack Arrett with his longbow. So 16.
16 on a rat. Yes, that's
That
hit.
does 7 damage. And
Okay,
he's
a
also
rat
gonna
is
use
gone.
Horde Breaker to hit one of them within 5 feet. Probably Krat.
Okay.
Oh, that first one's gone already.
Yeah.
Okay. That is another 16. For
Another rat
7.
gone.
And then he's going to use his extra attack to hit Brad.
Nat
no.
20.
And that 20's it.
And somehow, yeah, 13. So from a distance, 3 arrows go
Wow.
over Amber's,
Shot.
Furfang's, and Alice's heads. I don't know how tall Ali is, but goes past
ducked.
Ali.
Clearly.
And the rats were just skewered,
Wow.
Leaving
Nice.
leaving
Way to
Drat
go,
very
Drat.
surprised.
And Drat suddenly feels a bit lonely.
Yeah, he no
Yeah.
longer has pack tactics.
No,
did think-
he has no pack left.
I
Unless you
did
count
think,
Gorgon Ghastly.
yeah, I was thinking, with 4 of them, they'll last a round. So, Ali, the rat that tried to attack your wolf, just died in front of you with an arrow through its head.
Had
Brad's,
that coming.
Yeah.
Brad died with an arrow in his shoulder for some reason. That was enough to skewer him. And Krat, the arrow somehow went through his head, then back again, and completely annihilated him because
Had
it
it
was a nat
coming.
20.
Yeah.
Thoroughly
He had it
deserved.
coming.
All right. Well, I think I am just going to take a. Actually, those rats are really not a threat. So I think what I'm actually going to do is go up and deal with old Gorman here.
Cool.
To
So,
Watch out for the burning sphere.
yes. So I think I can be here and be
yeah,
out of.
yeah.
It sort of seems to be across several squares, so
Yeah,
technically you could be a little
the
bit
grid-
further
Yeah.
back.
The grid.
I'll move him to there, essentially, so it's
Yeah.
affecting Gorman.
Okay. So I will go up there and then do some slashy.
Oh,
25.
nice.
Not a lot of damage though. That was a low damage
25.
roll.
Yeah,
I will
3.
do it again.
Nice.
Both hit. 9 and 6. Gorman. I have to admit I didn't write the rats down in terms of damage because yeah, so 9 and 15. Cool.
And then Shadow will run up as well and do a bite.
Yeah.
Change that to there. 16?
Cast. It's in. Let me check which. So many. Yes, hits.
Yay.
6 piercing, and he might have to do a strength check. 10. So he's
Ooh.
also prone.
Oh,
Yay.
I think I use. Oh, so many new icons. There we go. He's got a bad back. He's prone.
oh my attack.
Is that 6? Yes. 15. Cool. So yeah, if bloodied were a thing, and if he had any blood left in him. So
Just
Ali-
zoomed in and just saw the little icon. That's funny. Oh,
my poor back. I'm trying to keep everyone on screen while on. I need to move. So I'm just updating the stream because the battle is quite extended. There we go. Cool. Amber, there's a ghast on the there's Drat on the floor. Sorry, Drat is still fighting fit. Gorman is on the floor.
I am probably going to actually start with Ulfa coming to have attack on Drat.
Cool.
But I'm going to move up at the same time so that he at least gets pack tactics for a moment.
Yeah,
Because I
we
could
did
do
say we
that
could split movement.
with my
Yeah.
movement.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
if these two are taking their turn together,
Yeah.
then not that I needed
Ooh.
it.
wow.
Ulfa got a nat 20.
Wow. Yeah.
That is very impressive.
Drat didn't know what hit him.
Drat got munched,
Yeah.
which means Amber can move straight through that square. So I've moved, I think, 1? Or maybe
Yes.
2.
You were. Yeah.
No, I was next to the wolf, I think.
Yeah.
I was next to the wolf. So I've moved 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, maybe 30. I'm trying to stay out of range of the flaming sphere,
Yeah.
but close enough to smack this guy with Lightbringer because I'm going to drop my crossbow once I get there.
And also close enough to keep lower his
21.
options of moving away. Nice.
Now there's 11 bludgeoning, which is magical, plus 6 radiant.
Plus 6 radiant.
Mhm.
Okay. I'm sorry, Miss Jackson.
No, oh boy, Drat, what have they done to you? He got munched by a wolf. Oh, Amber just stepped up and smacked the other one to next week.
Yeah.
Nicely done.
Way.
From
Wow.
previous experience, I think this happened once, and only once in this whole thing. If you start your turn in within 5 feet of him, there's a chance you get poisoned because they stink so much.
Yes.
But you've
We've
killed them
not-
off before the next turn
Yeah.
every single time except for once.
I remember Amber having to make a Constitution saving throw or stood in front of one of them
Mhm.
before.
I remember that. That
Yeah.
was terrible. And then did we poison one of the wolves by accident the same way
Yeah.
or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
God.
Amber is going to cast a Cure Wounds on herself because
Yeah.
that hurt.
Let me just remove these guys.
Did I say it was 2d4 plus 7?
Yes.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yes, you did.
And you're out of initiative order.
So turn off
Oh,
the
yeah.
flaming spear then. Oh, well done. That was good Q wounds.
Yeah.
And even I forgot to say you had advantage on him as well because he was prone. So
Yes.
he would
Oh,
have been
yeah.
23 as well. So you're out of combat. There's this little fireball there burning away.
Now would be a good time for me to use that fireball to turn all the rats to ashes so that I can work upon them.
Yes. We
Yes.
can
There you
that
go.
way so that can happen. Necros has redeemed Hydrate.
Oh,
I just ran out of my beverage.
so
I think this would be a good time to actually
Yeah.
take a break, to be honest.
yeah.
Yes,
quick
I'm
break.
going to go grab a new beverage so I can. Yeah, I'll be right back.
Dread
Okay.
killed Drat. No,
Drat-
no.
Drat.
Dread did
Drat
not
didn't
kill
kill Drat.
Drat. He's the only one that Dread didn't kill.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
yeah. So yeah, hydrate with Pepsi Max. If Pepsi Max wants to sponsor us, we're happy to be sponsored by them.
Yucky.
Uh,
Come and get yummy.
so as we're doing floof time, there we go, floof.
Big
Yes, he's
floof.
right in the center of the shot.
Okay, I can get the slippers out of the way. No, don't go over there. Come here. Come on. That's a
Hello,
good
Floof.
boy.
And the
That's a
floof.
good boy. You can sit. Look, I got yummies for you.
It's a real fur
Good boy,
fan.
Jakey.
Yeah. It's
Let me get the angle. Oh, we've got a good angle there. Okay.
yeah. We do floof time every
Yeah,
Floof
break.
time on Story Squires.
Yeah.
Always got to do floof time.
And on yeah, as we're being distracted by amazing floof, I thought we'd mention next week. We're not doing Guild of the Mimic,
Guild of the Feathered Spoon.
Guild of the Feather Spoon, because it's the Queen's funeral here in the UK, and they've given it as a bank holiday.
It's officially our official day of mourning and the day
State
that we are
funeral.
all going to watch the funeral. So we are not streaming next Monday
Yeah.
out of respect.
So we'll be back in 2 weeks with Story Squires.
Yes.
Yeah, so, I'll post that on Discord as well, just to remind everyone, but thought we'd announce it here. So, yeah, and
Jakey's tired.
I think that's all the announcements. Guild on Mimic,
That's everything official we've
Guild
got
on
to
Mimic
announce.
Network, yeah.
But yeah,
He's out of you.
none of us will be streaming
Yeah.
next Monday.
So, yeah, anything new from all our storytellers?
Do you need a hand up?
Yes.
Not really.
Yeah,
No.
nothing from me, I'm afraid. I'm making progress, but
Yeah.
yeah, I've been busy with the other admin stuff, and I haven't got anything to report.
Only
I've
thing lately
been
would be
house
to stream.
moving.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, you're streaming, Talia.
Yes, I've begun streaming. I've been streaming about 10 days ish. My writing, which is awesome. Actually, it's going really well. I'm really enjoying it. So I am. I'm really, really grateful for everyone that already that is subscribed, because I'm now like I've been affiliate like 2 days and I already have like a bunch of subscribers and bits and stuff. It's been really, really awesome. I'm doing special streams on Friday evenings where I'm writing a set number of words on a stream exclusive story that I'm going to start just for the stream. And then basically all the money that I'm being given is going to be like, for X amount of money, I will write X amount of words, or Y amount of words. Because I thought that was a cool way I could kind of repay the people giving me loads of money. Because the other stuff I'm writing, I'm not writing it all on stream. So I realized I was like skipping bits so people can read bits, but then like I write 3,000 words off stream. And then they're like, what happened in the middle? And I'm like, you'll have to buy the book. Which seems a bit mean. So I thought at least on Friday evenings for now, I would do an exclusive stream. But because I'm kind of maxed out on the number of words I can write per week, I can't write just extra words on top. So I'm kind of doing it per the money instead of ghostwriting. So that I'm still earning enough, but the stream are getting extra stuff.
Yeah.
And hopefully that will replace the ghostwriting and I won't have to work so hard. Or at least I'll be writing something I enjoy a bit more, because as much as ghostwriting is kind of like it's paying the bills and I'm very grateful, being told what to write is nowhere near as fun as writing what you want to and what your readers want you to. Yeah. So I will find it more enjoyable even if I have to write just as many words.
Yeah. And your readers will never know what you wrote.
Yes, the other thing about the ghostwriting is my name doesn't go on it.
Yeah.
Sorry about
and
that.
I will never be able to tell anybody, even if, for example, a book I wrote became a New York Times bestseller, and I'm not bitter about that at all. That's literally all I can say. One of my ghostwritten books became a New York Times bestseller.
Well,
yeah.
And that's all you can say.
I can't. I'll never be able to say I wrote it.
Yeah. So I've just seen
Yeah,
Onyx.
the upside and the downside of ghostwriting.
I got paid well enough, but I didn't get to claim it as well. I don't get the letters.
And I'm guessing you would have made more.
Oh, I'd
Whoever
have been.
wrote it for would have
I
made
would
a
have
lot
made
more.
more. Yeah.
Yeah. But of course, they've got the marketing machine.
Yes.
presumably.
I mean, that is the other side of things. They also probably paid quite a lot for marketing. So
Yeah.
Yeah, making a list is not a cheap endeavor.
yeah.
No, sadly.
Yeah. When Anne-Marie left, all the cameras moved over because they moved
Yeah,
over.
I'm sorry about
So-
that. He got tired and he had to lie down, which meant I then had to help make sure he could get up again okay, because there wasn't much room here. So
Yeah.
I figured it was better than you all suddenly getting a really close up view of my ass.
Fair enough.
It's not that kind of stream, I think.
Exactly. Yeah, you people aren't paying enough for that. So, yeah. That's a whole different stream.
You're technically not allowed on Twitch.
Yeah.
We'd be going to OnlyFans for that.
Yeah, but yeah, so yeah, that's the thing. I just yeah, he lay down and was like, oh right, okay, and then there's this whole other thing.
So yeah, we in terms of so I think that's all the news we have. We've got drinks. We've got experience points. I forgot. I've just
yeah.
Yes.
Ooh,
We need experience points for that battle.
Onyx did update. The soul of Drat now wanders the void. The karma he gathered in the living has now allowed him to be reborn as a random baby humanoid. Little did they know, it was a
Ooh.
baby goat man.
That's funny. Oh, and damn, Talia was the GM for a brief moment. I guess it was when the cameras were switching around. I have been the GM before. I did used to do the pyramid. The pyramid's not coming back until I can stop ghostwriting and I have time to do the pyramid. So
yeah, the pyramid is tad labor intensive.
it is very labor intensive. As you've witnessed it, Anne-Marie.
Oh,
You've
yeah.
been there while I've been planning.
Yeah,
And while I DM'd.
yeah.
You helped me DM one.
Oh,
week,
I
didn't
absolutely was there egging you on to destroy them with as much prejudice as possible. Yeah.
You? Yeah.
But we survived somehow, except for one who died and then came back.
One's died so far. I've managed to kill one of you, but because of the mechanics of the pyramid, you did come back to life. So
So
because the pyramid isn't really trying to kill everyone. The pyramid's trying to train everyone up, trying to see what they can do.
spoilers.
I think at this point you know that that's what the pyramid is doing.
Yeah.
I think the pyramid has even confessed that. I'm not spoiling anything. This is common knowledge.
Yeah. We should go. Yeah.
I think everyone at this point definitely knows the pyramid is sentient.
Sentient. Yes, because they've even sung songs together.
Yes, the pyramid sung. The pyramid joined in on some of the songs.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, that's complete aside. Completely different stream. The pyramid will come back at some point.
Yeah. And on that note, experience.
Yes.
You had
Yes.
3 times 450 plus 100. 900,
That's
1350.
1450
1450 between you.
between 4. So that's 362.
362 each.
Sorry, could someone just tell me what that is?
What?
The final number, please.
362.
Right,
what
but added on to
was-
12,750.
Oh, well, it ends in 2.
13, 112.
13. Okay.
13, 1. 13, what? Sorry?
112.
13, 1, 1. 13, 1,
Two.
12. Right, yep, gotcha. Yeah.
Sorry, yeah, I was saying that
No,
in an
no,
awkward
yeah.
way.
Yeah. Cool. No, that's all right.
So level 6 is 1400, I believe.
Getting close.
Oh, we're actually finally
We're actually
closing
getting
in.
close.
About time.
Yeah.
So I assume this fire is
Yeah,
now gone.
14,000.
After you burn the rats in it, the fire has now gone.
Yes. Yeah, I didn't
Oh.
see the need to burn anything else.
Onyx has asked what song we sung. That particular song was Master of the House, but there was a song pretty much every week when we were doing the pyramid of one variety or another, because we had a bard and then we had a barbarian learning to be a bard.
So he became the barbarian.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
And then the pyramid started joining in
yeah.
to some of the songs and singing some of the songs.
Played by the bard is played by Brian.
Yeah.
And the barbarian is Paperboat or Andrew, and they're both wonderful singers, players, some whatever, actors, creatives.
There was a lot of nicking lyrics that were appropriate and singing one-off lines during battles too. There was just generally a lot of bursting into song.
I think
and
even I
rewriting
ventured into one.
Andrew sang a song he renamed to Armagana. One of the songs from Chicago that he rewrote the lyrics to.
Yeah, that's
I
our
can't remember what
YouTube
name
channel.
The original song is. My brain's just literally gone blank.
I don't remember.
Armagana.
When you are Magana.
When you're good to Mama.
Ghana arms you. Oh right, yeah. Sorry, I didn't realize. Yeah.
We've
Chicago.
got a playlist for the pyramid in our YouTube channel I've just posted. So if you go there, you'll find lots.
You'll find lots of things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much every week we have something.
We had a song most weeks.
Yeah. Cool. So back to these storytellers, story squires.
we do a investigation check for other books.
For loot and
Loot.
and other random
Yeah.
stuff.
Oh, nice. Better find some damn
16,
books.
11, and 24.
Yeah.
13. Cool. Let me find my. Cool. I need a D100. Let me whisper it to myself. I think this is how to do it.
In an ideal world, not this time a book made of bacon.
Yeah, like an
substance,
actual book would be
Yeah.
preferable.
An actual book. I'm not sure I can do that.
I know it's asking a lot.
Cool. Oh, no. That's not
I
right.
don't know how to interpret this number.
Where's the... You guys have been working hard at this, so... Ooh. Sorry, there wasn't loot described, so I'm finding...
You're finding loot.
Yep. Oh, this one's quite cool. Why? Sorry, the page didn't refresh. So, cool. You find with a 24. It's not a book this time.
What's the bloody point then?
It's an insignia of claws. I will see if
Does it give me claws?
it gives you a claw. It's loading really slowly.
I am intrigued.
And I'll post the
if I now
description.
develop the ability to disembowel enemies, that's going to be pretty cool.
The jewels of the insignia is the cult. I might not call it the cult of Dragonfly, but it's a cult of the death. it has a purple light when you enter combat, and your fists, you get a +1 bonus, and your fists are now magic, I believe.
It seems like that would be a really, really good thing to give to Ali.
I was going to say, I don't have natural fists or weapons. I mean,
It would be a really good
Well-
thing
my
for a
fingers are,
monk,
know,
too.
delicate and slender for turning
Yeah.
pages.
I
Not
think that
really.
would be a good thing
Yeah.
to give to Ali so she can keep her sword, but start
Well-
doing magical.
I
So
think
I could just straight up punch things instead
You
of
can punch
slashing
things.
them.
as much as I
With
would
claws.
love to take ownership of the purple thing.
Oh, is that
this is
also
not.
what does it mean by natural weapons?
Empowering your natural fists.
I
and
think
natural
probably claws or
claws or
teeth.
tails,
Yeah.
teeth.
Okay.
Um,
So it's literally only really useful for a monk.
yeah.
Or a
that's what
wolf.
dropped from the table.
Or a wolf. Oh no, give it to one of the wolves.
Furfang? Can I give it to Furfang?
Oh,
Since I found it initially.
Yeah, go ahead.
yes. Furfang now has this. Could you make a note of what it does? So it gives magic attacks.
Oh, hang on a minute.
It gives
let's
magic
drop-
to the attack and a +1 bonus to attack rolls and damage. So it's like having a +1 weapon on the
Yeah.
Yeah.
wolf's bite. So you can
Ooh.
update the bite to add 1 to attack and 1 to damage.
And it makes a magical bite.
Right.
makes it
Hang on. Right, here we go. So
I'd modify Furfang's sheet where it says
Yes.
actions. If you hover over the box where it says bite a million stuff, a little cog appears underneath.
all right,
the
I found
line,
the cog. I've opened the thing.
and then
Right.
you can
so
so to hit, change that to 6,
okay.
and then change it to 2d4 + 3.
That's 3. Awesome.
And then add where it says if a target is a creature, it must succeed on a DC. Just in that box,
Mhm.
add another line that says attacks are now magical.
Right.
And then in brackets afterwards, write insignia of claws so that
Yeah.
we know that's what
Right.
gave it to it.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yours. And he now has a purple gem in his collar. Yes.
Yeah.
On
Yeah.
his armor actually, because he's got armor, hasn't he?
Yeah,
It
they've all got
does.
armor.
Our wolves are pretty
Fabulous.
badass.
Oh, Furfang, you know.
We need another couple of those, clearly.
Yeah.
With an 11 and a 13, there was a 16. With 11 and a 13, from the pockets you find 400 pieces of gold.
Between them.
Between them, yeah.
Okay. So we get all 100 gold each, essentially.
Yeah.
I'm quite happy to
Nice.
split it. Amber's not going to.
Keep it.
Because Amber is nice like that.
Well, to be honest, Amber's kind of like, well, we're all going to use this to adventure as a party and make the castle awesome too. Anyway, so Amber's just
Yeah.
like, whatever.
And with a 16.
At some point, I'm going to play a character that is a bit more like, no, give me the money. Give me the money. But I haven't yet.
With a 16, you also look into Jackson's pockets. And from Jackson's pocket, you find another rock.
In Jackson's pockets, Ali
Yeah.
finds another rock.
Yeah.
Do I need to do an investigation on this particular rock?
You probably better had. I think we probably all should,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah. Look around.
Necros, I
Have
wonder
a
what that
sneaking
is.
suspicion.
Oh,
Even that
no.
20.
Nice.
Oh, Ali knows what this rock is.
There's no need to check what it is. But nat 20. Yeah. So you find it as you look around it. It says, dinner time already? From Necros.
Dinner time already.
Yeah. And the moment, does anyone read that out loud? The inscription. Oh, well, Ali, I assume, tells people what it says.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It rings a bell. Makes a ringing sound.
Oh, like ringing people for
Wow.
dinner.
That's
Okay.
awesome.
I
That's
will
actually
put
kind of cool.
I will put Dinner Bell Rock in the back of the building.
And even if it's in a different thing, Yeah, I will try to remember this, but with a nat 20 you also know that every time any kind of food is mentioned, it rings.
It's not just when
Right.
you read the inscription.
Wow.
I might not
Should I
remember it every
not put
time.
this in the bag of holding?
Put it in the bag of
Just-
holding.
Does having something in the bag of holding sort of negate those effects? Because it's
I
kind of
imagine
in
so,
an
because the
other
bag of holding is
space.
technically a pocket dimension.
Yeah.
So it's in another dimension.
It's a very powerful rock.
Should we
Oh
just
my God.
chuck this
What?
rock in the lake?
No! I don't know, you might complete a set maybe. I don't know.
Oh yes, what happens when we get all 5 Necros rocks? They probably allow us to
We
reshape the
become Mighty
universe.
Morphin Power Rangers. And
Or would it be like the Infinity Stones?
Yeah, exactly.
It's
Yeah.
like the infinite glove, the glove of infinite mediocrity or something.
where's Brian when I need him to appreciate my rocks? Don't worry, he'll be back. We'll tell him for sure. Well, we've got one each at the moment so far because now Ali's got one, I've got one, and Brian's got one, or Dret's got one. So I think we should keep them for now. And we
Okay.
should see
It's,
where this goes. Corner of Necros.
I'm just gonna wrap it up in the other stuff that's in the bag of holding to muffle the sound.
Wrap it in bacon.
it is muffled. With the pages of the bacon book that you found. Cool. And I think that's all you find for now.
So,
Oh, by the way,
My character didn't say wrap it in the bacon.
no.
how much gold did we get each?
100.
We got 100.
Good.
Gold ring that's
Awesome.
been wrapped.
Oh,
with
that's a good
some-
point. I need to add that to Dret's as well, don't I?
Yeah. The Gauntlet of Necros. But obviously you already know what it does with the rock of detecting gravity, the rock of dim illumination, I think was called. And
The rock of
now the
illumination.
dinner bell rock. So
The rock of gravity detection, the rock of illumination, and the rock of dinner.
so
To be fair, these are all very integral parts of life.
Yes.
but yes, combined. I am tempted to say when you try to put it into the bag of holding, the bag of holding just spits it out again. I don't know
That would
why.
be mean. Unless you can give us a reason for that, we're not going to accept that.
Yeah.
Getting that.
I'll think about the reason. Cool. Would you like to continue exploring?
I guess so.
Yeah.
Guess we're going
What
to
happens
continue
when they
south.
get close
like a-
together?
There's like a dark corridor down here.
And thank you,
Yeah.
Necros, for the bits and for the suggestions for the rocks. The bit rocks. Oh yeah, you guys can't see down here.
All right, we're going to do perception checks. What was Dret? Okay, Dret got 11. And we got a natural 20.
Oh, nice. I don't have to worry about getting too close then.
With a nat
I can
20.
see that we're in a cave, but at least I'm aware of my surroundings. I feel like whenever it's below 10, it's like, I don't really know where I am right now, guys.
Cool. With a nat 20, you see the next section.
Hmm.
And with a nat 20, you also see. Let me just get it. The new tool.
Oh god.
That's some
It's
doors.
a door. Yeah.
How big is this? Oh, I need to make this bigger. How do I make letters bigger in Roll20?
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's not something I've ever
But-
tried to do.
But
Or
right
is it a
there,
trap right in front of the doors?
you did get a nat 20, so you kind of see it. So, sure, there's a way. Oh, there we go.
Oh, rock of attention begging incoming. When you put it away in a bag, it jumps out begging for attention and love, like a living pet rock. And you may want to check the door that was locked again.
The door was barred.
It was barred from the other side,
Yeah.
though. I don't understand. Did we miss something?
Don't think so. Did I miss something?
Unless Necros plans to have dinner waiting for us in front of that door, I really don't see the point. Or books.
I might have the rock. Cool.
I can see the T now.
Yes, I made it slightly bigger. It's a new door.
New door. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah. And there's nothing else in this room.
Okay. I will come toward the door then, point out the trap to everybody.
Yeah.
And
Should
probably
we have-
is it usually with the traps at that point it's Dret. That
Yeah, I was gonna
think
say
Dred
it seems like
can-
a direct kind of project.
that
Yeah.
is a Dret thing normally. We're like,
It's-
Dret, how do you handle the trap?
It
And
is
he'll come along and do his thieves' tools thing.
Yeah, I'm just gonna stay around the corner. right there,
'Cause
filling out
Amber-
Mix of God of the past.
yeah, Amber. You can see it's like a string that is
Okay.
gone across.
Ugh.
He
Yikes.
attempts to disarm it. Does he set it off? No, it's not. Let me get the dice.
This is why I stayed around the corner.
Yeah, he doesn't disarm it, but it doesn't get triggered.
Oh.
Hmm.
So he can try again without.
So it does get triggered. Or
It does
doesn't
not.
get triggered.
Does
Okay.
not get triggered.
Okay. Can you try again?
Yes, he can, because I rolled a d20 and got lower than a 9. That's why it wasn't triggered.
This time you got a 20.
Oh.
Yeah,
Nice.
this
Ooh.
time he just cut the string and it's disarmed and it's disarmed, so nothing will happen.
Awesome. Trap disarmed. Necros said also, to be fair, if you didn't know what the rock did, I was worried when you just read dinner time already that you tried to eat it to see if it did anything. Really funny there. To be honest, I considered what would you do if you eat it? Is this like something you're meant to eat? Or it makes you want to eat it? Or I don't know. Makes you feel full
it's-
when you eat it?
By the way, the bell is the rock is ringing again. You're talking about food.
Yeah, I'm only talking about food to Necros. Amber's not talking about food. Amber doesn't know Necros.
They know the myth, or starting to learn the myth of Necros.
Amber's wondering who this Necros guy is. What on earth they think they're playing at? Anyway,
So yeah, there's a door in front of you
with no trap.
with no trap. What would you like to do?
Investigate the door.
Sounds like a good plan.
Amber does not. see
Amber does not.
Oh dear.
From a natural 20 perception check to a natural 1 investigation.
Yikes.
So far,
Oh, man.
Amber
Oh god,
Doesn't-
why did you-
That's our
think-
complete set of
I
rolls.
think there's a wall here, guy. I think we can just walk through this though. It feels pretty spongy.
Like we don't. I don't think we even realize whether this is locked or not. I think it's like we're just like
Well-
it's a door.
with a nat 1, most of you not even sure if it is a door.
Guys, no, I think it might be kind of a door or something. There's
Yeah.
like I feel like
Uh,
there's a thing here.
Yeah,
It's
Ali at least
not-
recognized.
It's not a rock wall.
Oh god, Furfang is pretty useless in this instance as well.
So, Onyx definitely notices a door.
Onyx knows the door. Yeah, that everyone in the chat's rolling d20s to see if they can do better than us.
Oh, I forgot the Necros is the invisible scribe that is going around
Yeah.
taking notes of everything. So, D20 biscuit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I
Does
might...
the scribe work out what this is? Yes,
Yes,
he
it
got a
does.
16. The scribe knows what this door is, but since the scribe is not telling us who he is.
You somehow receive a hint from the ether that there is a door there. And
I'm pretty sure I perceived that there was a door. I just don't seem to know how to open it.
yeah, I think is it Red and Ali got a 6.
Yeah.
There's an even with a 6, there's an obvious door handle. Just the other two didn't see it.
Great.
I got an 8.
You got an 8.
Natural
Oh
one.
gosh,
Nat-
you guys.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Nat 1, so I'm just going didn't see anything.
My nat 1 was still better than the 6 of the others.
Is that
It's a
a
beautiful
door
door.
handle?
I have door perceiving skills.
Should we go through the door? Open the door? Is someone going to
I
open
think
the
at
door?
this point we might as well. If
I'll
we get
open the
eaten on the other
door.
side, so be it.
I'm going to open the door.
Cool. Let me get this side. Because it was so many nat ones. So just let me. Get
What's that thing on the wooden wall? It's a handle. Why does a wall have a handle? Door opens. Gasp! It was a door.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Is it a good idea for someone to like ready an attack or something before this door opens?
I
Is
think
that
you've
something
opened.
we can do without running foul of the nat 1 phase we seem to be in?
I think you have now opened the door, and in it you see skeletons with specters rolling around it, with a minotaur right at the end.
A minotaur.
Skeleton minotaur.
Great.
Skeleton minotaur. Wow.
It's
Can we close the door?
It's bigger on the inside than on the outside. Wow.
I suspect with all the what do you think this is, guys? I don't know. It looks like a very wooden wall to me. They might know that we're coming.
Guys, I have a bad feeling the door might attack us. Ready action.
I also think that all of those nat ones were trying to tell us that this was a bad place to go and that we just really shouldn't have got in there.
Certainly without like all our full complement of spell slots.
Oh, it's fine. We'll be
Yeah.
okay. We'll be okay.
Says the least squishy member of the party.
Yeah, but I'm also usually the person at the front. Okay.
I still have second wind and action surge, so
Yeah. We've still got quite a lot of stuff. I've also got 2 mass healing words if I need them.
And I've still
Yeah,
got
I'm
a
down
flaming
9.
spear.
Okay. All right. We can do this. We can do this, team.
Oh god.
Your queen will lead you into battle, and we will be victorious.
Yep.
No dying. Specifically
dying
not of our
allowed.
queen.
You are forbidden from any kind of serious injury.
And so are you. Too much
Yes.
queen death
Question.
going on around
Yes.
to here lately.
If I have a spell that says it requires diamonds worth 300 gold pieces as a component, if I
Yeah.
have 300 gold pieces, can I assume that I have what's required?
Yeah,
we've
because
been
I
just
think
taking
you've just been
Valiant
converting
stuff.
things,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
think you probably had a diamond at some point.
Well, if I
Yeah.
know that that's what this spell requires, I have a feeling
Yeah.
Amber would make sure she'd at least have one.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
Cool.
Yeah.
So as you enter, you see a fireplace in the center, and lots of dead bones and specters hovering above them. It's you pretty much know it used to be like a campfire place. The fire is not lit. It's just like embers that used to be there. It looks lit, but it's not, essentially. Because everything here, everything here is dead. It's been abandoned for so long. But yeah, but specters are around. And I think it's time to roll for initiative.
Oh, boy.
Because
You're
you did
about to say
take
that.
you did take quite a while getting through a door, trying to
Yeah.
find to the door.
Oh, Jesus, that's even worse than the last time.
Amber was really confused by this door.
Yep. 0.
Are you sure we can walk through?
Oh, so was Dret.
Oh no.
Oh wow.
Wow. So my 11 was the best of the party. That's really
Yeah.
sad.
Yeah.
Even Furfang only got 9.
Are you sure it's not a
Yikes.
mimic?
And this guy. Sorry, I'm just rolling. I've got so many windows open.
Maybe the enemy rolled worse.
Skeleton Minotaur didn't do too much better. I assume you guys can see the initiative order. Let me bring it up for the viewers.
Oh, yeah, you need to take either me or probably Furfang out of it because I rolled for him as well, trying to get a better number. But yeah, he doesn't need to be in there as well because we are the same. We go on the same turn.
Cool. Spectre. And if people want to name things, we've got 4 spectres and a skeleton minotaur. Minotaur, however you say it in whichever
Minotaur.
English you want to say. So I need to move this out of the way for myself.
Amber was surprised that there was another room behind the door. Unsure if it was just a doorway or a portal. She took her time to think. She definitely took her time about something, that's for sure.
Yeah. So what's the spectre's speed? Is hovering 50 feet. So I'm just going to check what the distance between everything is. So there's a 100-foot room. So the spectre glides over. The door's now open to Alice.
Ali, not Alice.
Ali, sorry. It's just because it says Alice on her nameplate.
Does it?
Can I
Yeah.
change that?
Never said Alice on the nameplate.
It
She's
doesn't
always
say
been
Alice
Alice.
on the nameplate that we can see.
There.
No, it's
Okay.
never said Alice anywhere. It's always been Ali.
Don't know
Yeah,
why.
I don't know where Alice has come from at all.
No. Oh well, it's now Ali again. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
It-
I can't see a nameplate.
Oh. You can't see anything.
On the stream thing, I
On the
think but that-
stream.
that says Ali. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You should be able to see it underneath her name.
You have punched
Oh.
magic.
So 18 to
Did
hit.
say Alice on the turn order. Oh, okay.
Miss.
18 to
Um,
hit Ali. So the spectre flies over, tries to touch your shoulder, and misses.
A paper
Yay!
bone has said, nightly random thoughts as I finish putting children to bed. You have punched a magic goose. His power grants you either infinite nat 20s for combat, but nat 1s on any other check in the game, or the reverse. Which boon do you choose? And shame on you for punching a goose.
You ever met a goose? Some of them thoroughly deserve being punched because they
To
would
be
be
fair,
really
they
nasty to you.
do. Especially
Yeah.
Canadian geese.
Yeah. I think you'd need to like have it 2 people punch the goose and just choose the opposite of each other. Otherwise, you'd win every fight but lose all the loot. At least the other person could get nat 20s on all the investigation checks.
So that's the spectres then. They just moved forward. Ali.
All right, we're gonna. So my great axe is still nice and magical.
Yeah.
Oh, not gonna help.
You were surprised by
That's-
the spectre.
That's better. That is
That
definitely
is-
better.
Yeah.
That's a lot better.
Yes, you hit it. Spectre, let me. If there are no names. Spectre 1. I might call one Inspector.
I
Harvey.
like it.
3, 4.
Regina.
Regina. Inspector. Can you guys see the names? Yes.
Especchio.
Sorry?
Especchio. It was a name of a horse I rode in Peru. It was Spectre, but in Spanish.
I think one of them should be called Bond.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Inspector. I will. You'll have to tell me in a second how to write the one you want, Anne-Marie.
Especcio.
Especcio. Expectio. And there's one more to name if anyone wants to name it. And you're welcome.
Spectacular.
Spectacular.
Yes.
Spectacular.
And the Minotaur, just call it Bones.
And if you go.
Also, apparently Necros loves you, Bear.
Spectator.
Oh, spectator's good.
Will we have another Spectre? We'll have to keep that archived, I think. We've named them all now. Cool. Inspector. Bond. Spectacular. Spectacular. And Espesio. Cool. And they all start with this. And Bones. He's a bit more hardy. Cool. So Ali hit Inspector for 14 slashing damage.
Yep.
Yeah.
Magical,
Nice.
Yeah,
if that makes a difference.
it does. Cool. That was 2 attacks.
Yep.
Can't do anything
And-
else, I hope.
Shadow, since he's right there, may as well take
Yep.
a bite.
Yeah.
I'm guessing it
No.
does not.
He does not hit a Spectre. He's hovering above the bite. Oops.
Good boy for trying.
Bones turn. He will rush forward. And can he rush all the way? With dash.
Dang.
That was a lot.
He won't run so far. He'll run to here. Which is about 50 feet, because he dashed to 50 feet instead of waiting. Cool. Kalima.
Yay! Right. So, we've met specters before, haven't we?
Yes.
So we know what they are resistant to.
Yes, they are resistant to the same thing as a wisp, will-o-wisp.
So everything except force, basically.
Yeah. And they're immune to poison and necrotic damage.
Okay. Oh. Okay, there's 4 of these things. I think I'm going to have to resort to creative use of cantrips for a bit because I just don't have many.
If it helps any, as Amber, I'm going to use turn undead and make them all run away, so that we can pick them off one by one. Because they'll basically turn and flee from us, which will basically just make them flee deeper into the room to allow us to pick them off one by one. Assuming they fail their wisdom saving throws, but they're undead. They're not usually very wise.
Okay. Hang on a minute.
So I just do something to the one that's right by us.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Okay. So I'm thinking, oh god, sorry, there's so many spells, I keep losing track of stuff. Firebolt. Is there any point in throwing Firebolt at the spectre in the doorway?
It took a lot of
yeah.
damage previously, so
Why not?
Okay.
Just you might want to be careful where you move to try and get a clearer line of sight. I think Firebolt is another one that
Good
is
point.
evocation, so you can
avoid people.
magic meld it around people, but I think only 2 or 3. So if you something like that would work.
Yeah, I'm over here. So Firebolt on the ugly one in the doorway. That's pretty good.
16 on the Spectre. It hits on Inspector and 11 fire damage. Is that cool?
Yes, it is.
He is still there, but very much
faded.
Faded, yes.
Good. Yay! It was worth it. Okay, good to know. I'm sure I may well never ever get as good damage on a Firebolt spell like ever again, but that was quite hard. No.
Yeah. So that was a 2d10, got 8 and 3.
Oh, hang on a minute. Sorry. And Furfang now has...
Don't put Furfang in the square.
No.
In front of me, because I'm.
Oh, because you're about to do a thing, are you? Right. Okay. In which case, Furfang is going to hang back like a good boy and bask in his previous victory. And
Furfang has magical bite now, doesn't he?
Furfang does have magical bite. It might be worth switching Furfang out for Shadow.
Yeah.
Magical bite.
Yeah, I'm happy to do that. I just would Shadow need to move before I can go in there, or?
In theory, yes. You could say that Ali moved moved Shadow out of the way because Ali's technically had a turn already. Oh no, did Shadow attack?
Shadow attacked.
Shadow attacked. Okay, no, okay then, don't worry about it. Well, Shadow could have attacked and then moved out of the way.
Would get an opportunity attack.
Opportunity.
Yeah, Spectre would get an attack of opportunity, wouldn't it?
Good point.
That's right. I'll wait. Then you can do your thing. And and then let's face it, there's probably going to be another round.
Yes, that is true.
Yeah.
So Dret's turn.
Dret is going to shoot the one in front of us. I think the one right by us. 20.
20 hits, and with a 7 divided by 2. Yep, that is enough to make the spectre dissipate.
Awesome.
So the inspector is no longer inspecting, which is quite sad.
He gets another attack, so he's going to attack the Minotaur.
Cool.
14.
14. Where is he skeleton? Oh, that does hit. Yeah. Wow, I did not expect that to hit. Cool. A arrow protrudes from the skeleton, the Minotaur's horn, left horn.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, at least Dret knows where to collect that one when we finally kill the Minotaur.
Yes.
Cool.
That's
Amber.
all Dret can do. So Amber is going to move into the square, but then let me check the range on what I want to do. Where is it
10
gone?
undead.
Full sheet. Oop. Oh, within 30 feet of me. Are they all within 30 feet?
How far are they?
No.
50.
Nope.
In fact,
Okay.
none of them
You
are
have to
except for the
move.
dead one.
Okay, that's fine. I'm going to move. So I've moved 5. I'm going
Yeah.
to move another 10.
About. Yeah, so
So I've
to
moved 15.
yeah,
Now I think at least the front 3 are in range.
the front 3 should be in range. Yeah.
Okay. So I am going to use Turn Undead. As an action, you present your holy symbol and speak a prayer censuring the undead. Each undead that can see or hear you within 30 feet of you must make a wisdom saving throw. If the creature fails its saving throw, it is turned for 1 minute or until it takes any damage. A turned creature must spend its turns trying to move as far away from you as it can get.
So
And
those
it can't willingly move to a space within 30 feet of you.
until it succeeds.
No, it's a one-off. It's a one-off wisdom saving throw.
Okay. Let me get the specters. Let's start with specters. So Bond. How much does he need get?
It doesn't say. Just
What?
a wisdom saving throw.
It's against your
It'll be
spell.
against me, I guess. Oh, let
Yeah.
me see the channel divinity sets. The DC equals your cleric spell save DC, which I believe is
Yeah.
17. No, 15.
15. Cool.
15.
Bond, with his name, as his name implies, is not scared. He got a 17. Expexio got a 7.
Okay. So he just, for a minute, he has to run away from me and he has to take the dash action.
Okay, until he can't run anymore.
Then he can't run anymore. And then he just keeps trying to stay more than 30 feet away from me.
Or if he gets hit, I think.
Unless he gets hit.
Yeah. Cool. And the Skeleton Minotaur, with his -1, got a 2. So he got one non-natural 1
They both start trying to run away.
on that turn.
Oh, also, actually, if their challenge rating is half or below, they die. Instantly.
Okay. Is there more?
No.
So,
I've never used that. I wanted to use it.
yeah. So these two are scared, and on that turn they run away?
They now
Cool.
have to take the dash action away from me. They can't come
Cool.
within 30 feet of me. So, okay, at that, I am going to step back to here. I now get to cast my bonus action. I now get to use a bonus action.
Nice.
I can cast Spiritual Weapon.
Oh, look, it
And I'm
appears.
going to attack Bond with it. Since he didn't run away. Hold on, let me find it. Where is it?
Bones is literally shaking, rattling in his.
So 19.
Cool. That hits with 8 magic.
8 force damage.
8 force damage. Cool. Bond.
That is all Amber can do.
So you diffused. Cool.
So everyone else would notice that those two are turn tail to run kind of thing.
Yeah. Cool. Necros, I've got your DM for the what happens with 5 stones. And I agree with what you said. Sorry. Could you repeat that last thing, Amber? I got distracted by the DM.
Everyone would be able to see that these two had turned tail to
Cool.
run away.
Yeah, they've turned round. So, Expressio will go, I believe, let me find. I keep moving. This one. He can run, he's going to dash 100 feet, which is the very edge of the room.
Does it smack itself on the back wall?
It cannot go.
They basically run to the back wall and then cower.
Yep.
Aw.
He's hiding behind the bones that he originally came from. And it's not Bone's turn. So Bond will hover over. I'm going to move Inspect out of the way and go to the middle again and try to hit. Oh, he's tempted to go for Amber because Amber tried to make him scared.
Yeah, Amber basically just said, "Flee from me." Got all high and mighty, and he was like,
I thought it was Spectacular's turn, not Bond's.
It's all
all
in
of
one.
them.
Oh, it's
All
all of them,
Spectres,
right?
yeah.
Sorry, yeah. I know that. Sorry.
So
Brain freeze.
Bond laughed at it, but must have. Yeah, he got a 10.
Yeah, it didn't hit.
It's like, ha ha ha! I do not fear you. Nor can I hit you. And the other one goes for Ali. 14.
Not gonna do it. Ha
Nothing.
ha ha.
So Alison, Spectacular is in front of you.
Yeah, well, I think we're gonna need a little bit of payback for that. 17?
Hits and does
Excellent.
8 magical damage.
Yay.
Excellent.
Mhm.
Waha! Ooh. 15 might not.
Still hits.
Oh,
Yay.
excellent. It's way better than Will-O-Wisps.
Will-O-Wisp. Yeah. These are just spooky skeletons.
Yeah. And, since we're kind of getting down to the end of things here, I think I'm going to use Action Surge. That still lets me do a third. Yeah.
Well, so the Spectacular comes over to you, tries to slash you, just laughed at it, and you get his axe. Swing, 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 and it dissipates.
Wow.
Excellent.
You pretty much, you got exactly the right number.
Perfect. Perfect. Okay, well, I think Shadow is actually going to come around maybe this backside of Amber to kind of bite around the corner there. Is that
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah, I think you can just about do that. Yeah.
Just leave it open
Good.
for other wolves.
13 is enough to hit it.
Oh boy!
Which one's that one?
Bond.
Bond.
But obviously
That is non-magical biting though.
So he nips at the cloth, this floaty cloth, ethereal cloth up beneath the spectre. Does a little bit of damage.
Better than nothing.
They cannot be knocked prone, so
Yeah.
yeah. So Bones' turn. He is now having to dash away because he's scared of whatever you did, and he's right at the corner with the other spectre. He's trying to hide in the skirts of the spectre, and like the robes. And that's all. There's no way he can do another saving throw at all.
No, once they're turned.
Cool. Kalima.
Yay!
Although only for 10 rounds, just so you know.
Yeah, and he'll probably be hurt before that.
Yeah.
I can count the rounds. 1.
Right, so I guess this guy's looking pretty faded, right? Sorry, I'm pressing the wrong
Bond.
button. Bond.
He's
You could do another firebolt if it's just a cantrip.
Yeah, let's do that then. I definitely don't want to use anything more. I mean, there are other things I could use, but
Currently, it's the only threat, so just use a cantrip.
yeah, I can't get to the others really.
Because Dret and Amber are going to get to have a turn before it. becomes anything significant.
So I've got so many of these open, I've forgotten how to shrink them down again. Firebolt, right, okay. Oh.
9 does not hit. The firebolt
There's-
goes beneath him.
Okay, in which case, Furfang is gonna come here and bite him.
With a +1 now.
Oh, for
With
crying out loud. Oh, 22.
22.
Advantage
impact
to
attack.
attack.
22.
Thanks God for that.
With magical attack, yeah. Hey, the Spectre is surprised that the bite bites him. A wolf is able to bite him,
Bite
but
actually affects him.
yeah, but Bond is still there. He is shaken but not stirred. No way.
Ooh.
Damn it.
Onyx redeemed inspiration. Who are you giving it to, Onyx?
You can choose. Giving it to me.
The bear.
Go. I'm going to give the Minotaur inspiration.
You give the Minotaur inspiration. Okay.
Uh-oh.
If he survives until his round. Thank you. Someone's on my side at least. It's now 10:30.
It is 10:30. We should at least finish this round of combat.
So, Kalima, you did the firebolt, and Furfang almost destroyed Bond. Dret.
Well, Dret's going to shoot Bond, I'm pretty sure, from there. So.
Yeah.
11.
11 is not enough. The arrow goes straight through Bond.
I'm going to give it one more try.
17 does. Bond is so distracted by the first one. That's halved, isn't it?
Yeah, it is half.
But
It's still 10 though, so it'll be 5.
it's 5. Yeah. That arrow causes enough air to pass through him that Bond is no more.
Yay! Go team!
Excellent.
So that was his action and bonus action.
Okay.
Amber.
So Amber is going to cast Bless.
Ooh. What's
On-
bless?
Bless gives up to 3 people and 1d4 to add to their attack rolls or saving throws. She's going to give it to Ali, Dret, and herself.
Okay.
Because I'm not
Cool.
attacking anything when they're about to get their turn.
So
So she's casting Bless on Ali, Dret, and herself. So you get an extra 1d4 to all attack rolls and all saving throws for the next minute.
So
Excellent.
I'm
Thank you.
going to put a symbol on each of you.
Okay.
Cool. That symbol represents you're blessed.
Okay. And then I'm not sure what else to do from that point.
You can move your spiritual weapon a few feet.
Yeah, it can move 30 feet, and that I can do with bonus action. I can also move 30 feet. But I don't know if I want to use it to hit them or not. As in, they're going to come running back at some point.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to move 30 foot in because at some point we're going to have to hit
Take
them
the
with
battle
something.
to them.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I will move the spiritual weapon at least a little bit further forward so that it's nearer the battle whenever battle commences. So I'm going to move it about there. Yeah, I'm going to move it about there. And that is all I'm going to do.
Cool. It's moved. So it's had one round in which they were scared.
Yeah, and I've technically done an action, a bonus action, and movement.
Cool. So it's 10 rounds in which they're scared.
Yeah, also spiritual weapon lasts for exactly the same length of time, and bless will last one round more.
Okay.
because it's also for 10.
Cool.
But I cast it around later. So.
I think this will be well over by then if I had
Yeah,
to
it probably will.
estimate.
I thought I haven't actually gone all out as an Amber proper do everything I can in a battle, but this seems like it's probably the last battle of this thing. So I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm throwing everything at it and
I
seeing what
like
it's
it.
like.
Yeah.
I like it.
I'm tempted to throw more at you.
Hmm.
Because you scared all my guys away. And then killed the ones I
No,
weren't
only
scared.
half of them. We killed the others.
But yes, we will. I think we're probably going to come back in
Yeah.
2 weeks to finish this.
Yeah.
I don't think we're going to be able to finish it tonight. So
No.
thank you everybody
So-
for watching. I think we're probably going to raid someone, so stick with
Yeah.
us for a little bit longer. But yeah, thank you for all the bits. Thank you for yet another Necros Rock. And thank you for the subscriptions and all the fun chat.
Yeah.
It has
Yeah.
been a very fun
All the
stream.
puns. Thank you for finally someone supporting the DM. In our other stream.
Doing the DM inspiration.
In the other stream, feel free to beat down the DM because it's John and I'm a player. But
Yeah,
Yeah.
hopefully we'll be back in 2 weeks with Brian back with us, and we will find out what happens in the rest of this battle,
yeah,
and then probably level up. At least I hope so.
probably. Yeah.
That's exciting.
You've got about
Yeah.
700 left.
I've never been higher than level 5. I'm really looking forward to potentially leveling up. I think we need I think it's more like 900.
Yeah, just a shy.
900.
900. Cool. Yeah.
Open send to DM John.
Yeah. I did not say that. I did not say that. I promise.
Right.
Cool.
We should
Who are
find
we
somebody
going to
to
raid?
raid.
Um,
Normally we ask Brian this. Let me grab my phone.
yeah.
I've actually
Usual.
been following more people lately because I've been meeting more people lately because I've been
Yeah.
streaming so much. So let's see if I know someone that's streaming right now.
Yeah. I believe you've got 3 Necros rocks at the
We have
moment.
3.
Oh, I need to find 2 more.
Let me see.
Ooh.
Where's my Twitch app? There it is. Sorry, I'm taking a little while.
Right.
I've got someone who is streaming Puzzle Pirates.
Puzzle Pirates is a game we used to play.
Is the Puzzle Pirates where I met Brian? Is the game where I met Brian? A very, very long time ago. Or Felicia Day is streaming, but that doesn't seem like such a fun raid. That's the only people I know streaming.
I say Puzzle Pirates.
Yeah, why not? And
Yeah?
he'll see we've been playing D&D, and maybe he'll watch us at some point. So, what's his name?
Everyone watching it. It's Joe Diggerty. So
Joe.
ITS Joe. And then
ITS.
Diggerty. ITS is it's.
Ah,
It's literally the Twitch username is it has it
Yes.
in it.
it's Joe Diggity. Found him.
You found him?
Yeah. Thanks. Yeah. Thanks for watching and everything.
Yeah.
You guys are absolutely
As I said, we're
amazing.
not going to be streaming next week because of the funeral, but we will be streaming in 2 weeks' time with the story Squires again.
Yeah.
So, yay!
So, looking forward to it, and hopefully, I can do some sort of damage to you guys.
You have to.
Hey,
You're
man.
welcome to try.
Yeah. Cool. If everyone's ready to raid, I'll click raid now. Then
Yay.
Yeah, I think
Cool.
we're ready to go. Right. Bye, everyone.
bye.
Bye.